Hello world, it's Manas and this is the first part of my Python tutorial series. In this series, I will be teaching you Python from a student's perspective and hopefully by the end of the series, you will be able to write Python programs on your own. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is install Python. So I've already opened up the website and you need to head over to the downloads and download it for your OS. So I've already downloaded it over here. Okay, click continue, 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 agree, continue and install. And we're done. Now that we have Python installed, let's download an environment where we will run our Python code. I like PyCharm, so I'm going to be using that, but you can follow along with any other IDE. So I've already downloaded it here, but I will show you how you can do that. So you head over to the PyCharm website and click on the download community version. So I'm going to cancel this. And once it's downloaded, open it up. And drag it to applications. And now you can open it up. Agree, continue. Okay, so you do this. I've never used PyCharm before. Next, now you can choose which theme you like. So I'm going to click on the Darkula one. And I'm going to click this checkbox. I don't need any plugins right now. So let's start using PyCharm. Now let's create our first project. And close tips. Let's wait. Alright, so now let's add our first Python file. So you would want to right click on your project name, new Python file. You can name it anything. I'm going to call it part 1. Okay, great. Now we're all ready to start coding. The first thing we'll be learning is how to print in Python. The syntax of any language is the words with which we communicate with the computer. In Python, we print any statement with the print keyword. To print anything, we must enclose it within a pair of single quotes. Let's try printing hello world. So print single quotes hello world. So let's run this. Right click, run. And as you can see, it prints hello world. Now let's move on to a fundamental of any programming language, data types and variables. In math, a variable is something whose value can constantly change, like x. Let's declare a variable and set its value equal to 10. So let's say x is equal to 10. Now let's print x and see what the output is. Print x and run. So as you can see, print hello world from this command and then print x, as you can see, it prints out 10. Now, just a quick question, what if I put single quotes and then print x? As you can see, it prints out x. So that means when we want to print out a variable, we must not include it within a pair of single quotes. Now, as we discussed that the value of a variable can change, let's change the value of x to 100 and print it. You can see that it updates x to its latest value, which is 100. Great, we just learned how variables can change their values. Now let's learn about data types. Data types are what the words tell us, types of data. The four basic data types of Python are integer, float, string, and boolean. This is how we declare them. A equals 10, which is an integer. B equals 10.5, which is a float. C equals, in single quotes, x, which is a string, and D equals capital TRUE, which is for true, or FALSE, which is false. So what these data types are is essentially types of data, right? So A is 10. As you can see, 10 is an integer. A can also be minus 10. B is any floating point number, which is a float, essentially any number with a decimal in it. Now C, which is a string, is quite interesting because you have to declare a string within a single quotes like this, X, or you can say anything like, hello guys, how's quarantine? So this itself is a string. Now Boolean can have only two values, unlike string, integer, and float. It can have only two values which are false and true. So now let's print these out and see what happens. So let's print A, and I'm gonna copy that for B, C, and D. So as you can see, after all of this printing X and this X, we have print A, which is a negative 10. We have print B, which is a 10.5. We have print C, which is a string. And we have print D, which is a boolean. Now, in case you're wondering, how can I know what the type of my variable is? Well, great, there's a function for that in Python. So let's say I declare a variable j equal to 10. Let's change 10 because that's getting quite common. Let's say j is 23. Now we want to know what data type is j. So all you need to do is print the type of the name j. And as you can see, it says it's the type int, which stands for integer. Now let's say you want to make j a float, right? So you say j equals 23.0. And now as you can see, it says j is a float. Now let's say you want to make j a string. So all you need to do is put it within a pair of single quotes. And when you run it, you see j is a string. Now if you want to see what j will be if I make it true, you've guessed it, it's a boolean. We will understand the importance of data types and variables in the next part when we will start working with operators and expressions. Now let's understand what comments are. Let's say you are writing this code for your friend who needs to understand what a print statement is. So you start writing print in Python is used to print some values. And when you run this code, boom, it gives you a syntax error. Now how do we get around this? The problem is that we have left this command which is running by the computer, whereas this command or this explanation is for our friend. So how can we hide this from the computer? The way to do that is with the help of comments. So all you need to do is put a hashtag over there, and as you can see, it grays out this line. So now when you run it, it skips over that line after printing out hello world, and it goes on with the execution. Now let's declare a boolean true and print it. So I'm going to get rid of all of this. Let's say k is true. Now let's try printing it. Oops. Print k and run. What is this weird error? Now, this error is because Python is case sensitive. That means that it can differentiate between upper and lower cases. Now, let's type true in its correct syntax, which is capital T, small r, small u, and small e. And now let's print k, and as you can see, it prints out true. Now, this is where part 1 ends, and hope to see you there for part 2 of the series. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.